Alright, so if you've been paying attention to my Instagram throughout the past couple of weeks, chances are you've probably seen that my agency has been going crazy. Throughout the past couple of weeks, I've managed to close pretty much one client every single day, and we also managed to retain our current clients every single month. Now, if you know me, I'm saying this just as a proof of concept, because in today's video, I'm going to teach you how to start a social media marketing agency in 2022 from complete scratch. So if you're a beginner watching this video, I'm going to make it super simple for you, but if you're advanced and you already have an agency that's doing somewhat good, maybe $5,000 a month, maybe nothing. I mean, maybe you just started, but you have a lot of experience in the game. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know. We're going to go over how to start an agency, how to pick your niche, how to find potential clients. I'm going to show you multiple methods that I use. We're also going to go over a couple of email scripts that you can use for your cold email outreach. We're going to do all of it inside of my computer. So we're going to go into it and actually do outreach together. So you learn exactly what to do. We're also going to talk a little bit about Facebook ads, how you're actually going to find people to run the ads for you, how you're going to run your first ads, how to get clients. I mean, we're going to go over everything, okay? Now, this is not a video that you should just run through and not take any notes on. Like, if you're starting out or if you're experienced, this video is probably going to change your game. If you've been watching my channel for some time, you know that I have absolutely nothing to sell you, and I'm teaching my strategies inside my completely free Discord group, which don't have any upsells. I'm never going to sell you anything, but inside of that group, people have been using my strategies that I've taught in previous videos, and it seems to work for every single one of them, the people that are serious. So please, do yourself a favor and give this video a chance, because it's going to transform your agency game. I've created what I at least consider to be a pretty good PowerPoint, but I'm not going to waste your time. Hopefully click a like on this video and subscribe to my channel. And if you're interested in seeing me document my agency, my day-to-day life, traveling, we pretty much do this like every single week at this point.
Paris, it's beep that out. To be honest,
if you want to see a little bit more inside of my own life, you can go ahead and follow my Instagram, which is right here. But without further ado, please click a like and subscribe to this channel, at least if you like the content. And let's get straight into my computer and I'll show you the PowerPoint. This is a really good one. All right, so let's get started. How to start a social media marketing agency in 2022 from complete scratch. Now, if you've never been to this channel, you might be wondering, who is this guy? Well, my name is Henrik. I started my agency at around the age of 16. So I've been running it for like 6-7 years at this point. And when I first started my agency, I didn't even know that I was actually running an agency. I was purely just hustling in Facebook groups to try to find potential clients that I could sell some sort of service to, even if it were graphic design, building them a website, helping them out with their Facebook ads. It could be anything. But from the age of 16, I decided to take online business super serious. Early on in my journey, I actually went ahead and dropped out of college. Now, for you guys in America, that's going to be last year high school, but in my country, that's first year of college. And the reason for me dropping out of college, and I don't necessarily recommend you guys to do this, but I was very hungry to start an agency, and I knew, because I've seen it all over the internet, I kept on watching videos of entrepreneurs, how they managed to live what I would consider to be a very good life. I got really inspired by that, and I just believed in myself. I guess it sounds kind of corny, but anyways, I dropped out of school to start up an agency. I did a little bit of drop shipping. I've run some pretty successful e-commerce brands that's done multiple 7 figures. Now, it sounds like I'm just bragging. I'm obviously not. I just want you to understand who I am and why I'm actually qualified to speak to you about this, and I've documented all of it on my YouTube and my Instagram. But let's actually get into the PowerPoint. How to start a $10,000 a month or more social media marketing agency in 2022. What if I told you that starting a marketing agency is actually not that hard? People often confuse difficult with time consuming. Now, running an agency is not really that difficult, and scaling it upwards to $10,000 to $20,000 a month is actually not hard at all, but it is time consuming. It's just like leveling up your character in a video game. So when I was younger, I used to play a lot of RuneScape, and I quickly realized, like a couple of years, that's not even quick, but I realized a couple of years down the line that it's not hard at all. It just takes time and dedication, and it's the exact same thing with an agency. So if you apply what I teach in this presentation, you will make it work. It's just that things takes time, right? Nothing is going to come easy. In this presentation, we're going to go over what SMMA is, how to start your agency, how you're going to find and customize your own offer that you're going to sell to your client, how you're going to find your niche, how you're going to choose your price and packages, how to find your clients, how to convince clients to work with you, how to deliver results for your clients, and how to repeat it and scale to $10,000 plus a month consistently. $10,000 a month. Now, I remember when I made my first $10,000 a month. It was in April, a couple of years back, and I've never made any money on the internet before. And I remember being mind blown when I pulled that amount into my bank account, because just 2 months before, in February, I had no money whatsoever. I used to hustle a little bit back and forward on the internet to try to make at least some money in some ways, and I managed to come up with like $300 every once in a while when I managed to close a simple deal for web design, but I'd never seen actual money. And the only difference from February to April was that I got super serious. Now, I was the type of guy that kind of thought thought I was taking my agency serious, but on the side, I was playing video games. I was wasting my time. But in February, I made a decision to take my marketing agency super serious. I started to study it. I started to learn, and I started putting in hours on hours every single day to grow my agency and change my life forever. And it turns out that it really did pay off. Right now I'm starting from scratch. Tomorrow I will go out, knock on every single door in the neighborhood, and then I'll save some tiny amount of money to do my Facebook ads. Could a guy like me make it? We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll live there with the Ferraris and all that kind of stuff, but I will jump right into my computer. So when you're starting an agency, you should expect to be hustling for 2 to 6 months before you're going to see results. But when you see these results, they're going to be mind-blowing because it just explodes. There's some sort of explosive effect where getting the first client is kind of hard, but after that, it's honestly becoming relatively easy. Now, I'm sure there's a couple of people watching this video that are wondering, what is SMMA? Well, SMMA stands for Social Media Marketing Agency. You are running a marketing agency providing advertising for other businesses to grow their monthly income. It basically means that you make money by making other people money. Now, a marketing agency could, for example, be someone that works with gyms, a gym that's doing $10,000 a month in revenue, and you have an agency that customizes the gym's offer, gets them good creatives, good videos, good content, and pushes out paid ads on, for example, Facebook to sell their service. Now, when I first started out, I was actually working with e-commerce and gym, so running a marketing agency could also be you helping an online store that's doing, for example, $70,000 a month, scale all the way upwards to $300,000 a month, to $400,000 a month. That is the exact thing I'm doing right now. I'm running an e-commerce marketing agency. You could also, for example, work with local restaurants, bring their monthly revenue up. You could generate leads for them, get them multiple new customers every single month. And the great thing about running an SMMA is that it's completely free. You can start this business with no money at all. Now, I do recommend you to have like $70 just to set up a website and get a couple of apps installed. But technically, if you want to do what I did, you can actually start a social media marketing agency for completely free. And that's the beauty of the business. Compared to dropshipping, with a marketing agency, you're going to see upwards of 90 to 100% profit margins. So when I post results like this on my Instagram or I show it in my YouTube videos, it's actually pure profits. Now, I have a team now. I give them some percentage, but pretty much all of it is profit. And that's the beauty of running this business. Now, one of the first steps you have to take when starting a marketing agency is to pick your niche. And picking your niche might be a little bit confusing because you think, what am I good at? Where can I deliver results? But I want you to understand this. You don't necessarily work with what you're good at. At the end of the day, I would assume you're into this to learn about marketing and to make money. So if you're a car guy, it doesn't really mean that you're going to sell cars better. But one thing that is great about being a car guy and running an agency for car companies that sells cars is that you speak the client's language. So when I run, for example, an e-commerce agency, I can talk the client's language. I can talk about e-commerce. Just like if you work with a chiropractor, if you talk about like bones in the body or I don't know, whatever, but stuff like that, you speak the client's language. So from first second, you have a little bit more trust with them. And when you speak the client's language, it's going to be way easier for you to actually close the clients. So maybe I recommend you to work with something you're good at, maybe not. In my opinion, the best starting niches are probably gyms or e-com. Now, some people are going to say e-com is hard, but e-com is actually really, really good. But let's look at this slide. What makes a good niche? Well, the first thing that makes a good niche is that it has a big market. This is extremely important to allow you to consistently find new leads. Now, if your agency evolves around helping alligators in Florida, you're going to have a very small market. But if your agency, for example, is helping dentists all over the United States, you have pretty much an infinite market. There's so many dentists out there. So before you pick your niche, you have to sit down and think, is my niche even that broad? Because a small niche, I constantly see beginners get into this mistake. They go into a super small niche. Now, the next thing that makes up for a very good niche is that you can get easy results. Now, you probably know that there's no such thing as easy or fast money, but you should pick a niche where you're somewhat confident that you can bring results. So this goes back to speaking the client's language. If you know a little bit about cars, maybe it's easier for you there because you actually know what you're talking about. But once again, I don't necessarily recommend you to work with what you're good at. I didn't do that. I just got straight into e-com and did kind of like gyms on the side. Now, I know a lot of you want to do this, but just don't pick niches such as real estate where bringing leads is difficult. Now, the problem with niches like real estate is that you probably sell houses for like $4 million, or that's maybe a little overkill, but let's say you sell a house for $500,000 and you have to get leads to the real estate agents to actually sell houses like this. You're basically doing lead gen, and it's not that effective on real estate agents because the offer is so high ticket and the marketing is incredibly advanced. So if I were you, I would just probably avoid niches with like super high ticket offers. But at the same time, you could probably pull it off too, because some businesses, let's say they have a service that costs $20,000 a month and you charge them $5,000 a month. If you can just sell one product or one service for that business, they made all the money that they paid you back and they profited $15,000. So that is the beauty with working with big businesses like that. You only need to get them one sale a month, but still it's going to be a little bit difficult. So I probably just wouldn't do it. Now, I've come up with a 4-step list to launch your agency from scratch. The first thing you have to think about is niche, pricing, offers, and packages. How much money are you going to charge for your service? What niche are you going to be in? What is the offer? And do you have multiple packages? Now, in my agency, I have 3 main offers. My first offer is $3,000. My second offer is $6,500. And my third offer is $9,000. This allows me to milk a lot of money out of the high-paying clients that's super serious, but it also allows me to secure the deals with lower-paying clients. So in my opinion, you should have multiple offers so that you can make a lot of money somewhere, but also secure money other places. Now, the second step you need to take before actually starting your agency is to create a website with calendar on it so that the customer can go to your website and schedule a call with you. Now, there's multiple great platforms to make a website. Just don't use Shopify, okay? I'd probably go with ClickFunnels, Wix, or Webflow. Those are all 3 very good platforms to make a website for your agency. But realize that when you make your first website, it's a little bit tricky, but it's like a one-time thing. So as long as you can make it once, you'll be set for life. Now, the third step to start your agency is to have an outreach plan. How are you going to reach out to clients? Because you should probably not rely on only one strategy. So are you going to cold call businesses? Just pick up the phone and call gyms in your local city? Are you going to message their Facebook page? Are you going to do cold emailing? Are you going to make a personal brand? There's multiple ways to do outreach, but I recommend you to find one that fits your personality. For example, one of my friends is super good with sales through the phone. He can pick up the phone and almost convince anyone, but other people just can't do that. Other people are better off hiding behind the computer just typing out messages all day, and that's completely fine. The fourth step to take before you start your agency is to make social media for your agency. What you should have is an Instagram page, a website. I kind of count the website as social media, and then you should also have a Facebook page for your agency, and that's probably enough. You don't need that much. You also want to make sure that you work with a custom domain and that you have a business email. So that could be, for example, henrik@mediadigital.com. Just don't go with a Gmail because it's just not that professional. The 3 stages to success with a marketing agency in 2022. Now, I've tried to make this as simple as possible for you so that you don't get confused, because so many people always ask questions that's not really where they're at the moment. And I want this channel to give you absolutely all the information you need, but to keep it as simple as possible so that you don't sit there and get confused as to what I should do in this stage. And I just don't want you to get confused. It's that simple. The first step is to find a client. And this is absolute the hardest part. I mean, most people are going to quit here. Finding a client is ridiculously hard because nobody knows you, and you're going to reach out to complete strangers who knows nothing about you and try to convince them to purchase something from you. That's not easy at all. The second stage is where you're actually going to close the deal. Congrats. You're now ahead of 90% of people. As I said, most people are going to quit in the outreach process because reaching out to people and getting clients is very, very hard, and you have to be patient. You have to learn the game. You have to convince people. You have to get better in sales and develop your social skills. So this part is really hard. But once you have your first deal in, the snowball is rolling. The third stage to success with an agency is probably the hardest stage. But the great thing about it is you can give someone else the hard work. You don't really have to do this, and you don't have to go too deep into it. But the third stage is providing results. You're running a marketing agency. That means you make money by making other people money. So when they've paid you, you actually have to get them results. Now, there's multiple ways you can do it. You could pay someone else who knows how to do Facebook ads to run the ads for you. So if you make, for example, let's say $3,000 from a client, you can go ahead and send $600 to another guy that's going to run the ads for you and pretty much always guarantee you results. Or you can hustle and learn how to run ads yourself. But make sure that you actually deliver the service, because once the client has paid you, they're going to expect some serious results. And this is a very, very hard part where a lot of people mess up, sometimes have to refund clients. But if you're watching my channel, I got you on all of this. I got a full Facebook ad tutorial teaching you everything you need to know to get great results for your clients. Now, in the third stage, you can make big money or lose it all. The reason I say big money is because if you run an e-commerce agency, for example, you're going to operate on percentage. So one of my e-commerce clients pay me $3,500 a month every single month, but that's not where we make our money. Last month, we ran a campaign for him where we spent $1,600 and generated $60,000. That's a return on investment of $3,700. And I had 20% of profits in that store, which means of the $57,000 approximately we profited, and then there's cost and everything. But with the profit, I had 20% of all of his profits. So I made more money through performance than I really did from the actual fee. Now, let me show you how I do outreach to find my own clients. Now, I have 3 different strategies to do this. The first one is on Facebook, and it's very, very effective for people that's running an agency by themselves. So if you don't have a team or anything in place, you have no systems, no people to do this with, then you should totally be the guy that does Facebook outreach, because it's very, very simple. Now, I just for the test of this video did Facebook outreach to like 4 people yesterday, and 2 of them responded to me. But typically, you'll have a 20 to 30% response rate using my strategy on that. And I will show you the strategies here in a second. So it's a very good one. Now, the second strategy, and this is very good if you're actually like really serious about your SMMA and you want to get clients, that is by doing cold emails. But the problem with cold emails is they work best in bulk. You got to send out tons of cold emails to actually close. And I was reading something the other day, and now I don't necessarily believe it to be completely true because it also depends on your skill level and how you're writing out your emails. But I saw some guy say, and he's not necessarily trustworthy, I don't know who it is, but just from what I saw, he said something like it takes 2,000 cold emails to close one client. Now, from my experience, I don't actually know because we send out around 400 to 500 cold emails every single day. I have a team on that. They both do like 250 each day, and we send it out through softwares like Limlist, but we probably get a client a week off of email marketing. So it's very good, but if you're doing it yourself, it might be hard. Still obviously doable, but then I'll probably do the Facebook outreach. Now, the third strategy is by building a personal brand. Now, building a personal brand is a little bit difficult and you have to be patient. So the only problem with going with this strategy is that you can't just start right now and actually make money compared to if you do Facebook outreach. You can actually be seeing results already tomorrow. Now, that's not me saying that that's probably realistic, but it can always happen, right? So when you create a personal brand, you have to post on TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. Like, there's so many places you have to post if you really want your personal brand to pop off, or at least to create quality content on those platforms. So what I would, for example, do is I would make a TikTok account where I post tips about marketing for dentists, and the TikTok algorithm is going to push it to dentists eventually. Just like if you're interested in video games like Fortnite, you're going to get Fortnite TikToks all the time because the algorithm is very good at matching people. Now, the personal brand route is the easiest one when it comes to passive clients, and it's also very scalable. So if you're looking to put your agency all the way up to $100,000 to $200,000 a month, using a personal brand is very good. Now, I could probably go ahead on this channel and offer ad management. You just offer my SMMA service here. And there's probably some people that runs an e-commerce store, for example, that will use my help. Now, don't DM me about that, okay? Because I'm running my agency. I don't got that much time and we can't really take on clients. Now, you get the point. I could probably pull that off on this channel. So using a personal brand is a very good way to get clients passively, but it does require some hustle to get started. So you're probably not going to see money instantly. Now, let me show you a couple of quick examples of outreach. I'm going to show you how to do cold emailing. I'm going to show you also how to do the Facebook outreach strategy. Now, the Facebook outreach strategy I have covered in multiple of my other videos, so check back on them later for a little bit more in depth. But on Facebook, you're going to scroll, and for every third or fourth post you get, you're going to get an ad. So if you want to work with gyms, you're going to get gym ads, but you have to be patient, right? So on my feed, the only thing we're going to get is e-commerce ads because I only engage with e-commerce things on Facebook. So when I scroll here, only thing I get is like dropshipping ads, e-commerce ads. But what I can do here is I can look at this ad, for example, I can see where they can improve. Now, we're not really going to play the whole ad now because I don't know if I'm recording this video. Actually, I can just silence it. But let's see. It's a testimonial ad, so it's already like super good. But pretend it was kind of bad. I can go to the page here where you can actually review their website really quick, because keep in mind, the person that does his research has a way higher chance of actually getting response from clients and the clients being interested in talking with them. When I can come to them and say that I've been looking at your website, I noticed a couple of things that we can change to drive up your conversion drastically, increase the average order value. Like, I just noticed some things that we can change. Okay, maybe the color scheme is off, maybe the video ad doesn't grab attention. So on this site, there's not that much to say because it's a big brand and it's already perfectly set up. But pretend it was kind of bad, you can go ahead and message them. We can keep doing the same strategy as I told you guys earlier. Who is in charge of your marketing? Now would probably say hey in the beginning of it. So I did this strategy right here. And if we go into my DMs, now as you can see, I actually got a reply here the other day, and I am pretty sure, I don't know for a fact, but this doesn't really look like an auto reply. So I would imagine this is actually the business replying to me that if I have an offer, I can email them here or message or whatever it is. I haven't not clicked the link. But if you do the Facebook outreach strategy, you're actually going to get a lot of people that are interested in you, like, believe it or not. But another great way of doing this is you can come up to the search tab here. So we can search for things such as, for example, gyms in Manchester. Now check this out. This is going to be very nice. We hit pages here. This is, considering if you were to work with gyms or dentists or whatever. And then we scroll down a little because the biggest ones are like Pure Gym. They are all brands. So we have to scroll down a little. But then once you find the smaller gyms, and ideally you want to work with local gyms, just so you can get like people that doesn't have a marketing team and stuff. But we can scroll down here and find like multiple gyms. So Muscle and Fitness, can go ahead, review their websites, do your research beforehand. You don't really have to do that though, but you can. This website looks like it built in 2010. So we could let them know they're leaving a lot of money on the table by not improving their website. Don't say it in a rude way, okay? Because it's just going to come off wrong. So you have to do your research. But this is more so a guide on just how to get started. I'm not going to dive that in depth because I got multiple other videos on it. But check it out. You can go ahead and message them using the exact same strategy. Yo, don't say yo, it's not professional. Oh, look at this. I have been talking to this gym in the past. This is long ago. Yeah, so I did my research. Isn't that funny? We just searched for that and that's random. That's actually random. But this is not the best message, yo. It's not. But if you send this out every single day, send like 100 to 200 messages on Facebook, you're gonna get replies and the people are gonna be interested. Now, before I show you a cold email marketing script, I'm literally gonna give it out for free. But before that, please do me a favor and click the like button and subscribe if you like the content. And as I told you, I document my whole agency journey on my Instagram, so you can go ahead and follow it right here. But let's look at the cold email marketing script. All right, so we're back at my computer. This is an email that I wrote for someone I was working with and also used it myself. And this email, I don't think is that good, but believe it or not, the email has actually had a 10 to 12% respond rate. Incredibly high. That means if we send out 100 emails, we get 10 replies. Now, it might be some hate, it might be some good ones, it might be clients. And the 2 students that I'm working with right now have created results with this. They actually closed 2 clients each for over $2,000 a month just of using this script. So I know that it works. Now, what you want to do is you want to send out an email like this, just say you came across them, why they're not running ads or similar stuff like that. And, I obviously did not say Peter Digital. I just made that up to blur out the other agency names of, private people who don't want to be really, it doesn't matter. Anyways, though, we actually have proof for this, the return. We have results on it, so we can prove all of it. But then they're going to send us a message back. I'm not going to read through the whole thing, but they're going to send us a message back, and then they're going to say if they're interested. The great thing about cold emails is that you don't go back and forth. You send the email, they reply, then you schedule a call. So whenever they reply to this, we're going to send them to our website where they're going to schedule a call for more information, a free 10-minute strategy call where we're just going to give free value. We're not going to try to sell anything. And then in the end, they're going to like us or not. So, we'll always try to sell in the end, of course. But cold emails work very well for this. Now, I don't have any examples on personal brands, but I guess you're looking at a personal brand now, just that I don't monetize it because, as I said, I don't have anything to sell you. But these strategies works very well. The 4 steps to creating an agency that's actually making a lot of money. First thing you need, and I'm going to make this simple, is to find a client. Use a strategy like the one I showed. So you can pick if you want to use Facebook, you can pick if you want to use cold emailing or create a personal brand. The second thing you need to do is to get them on a free call. And now, as I told you, that's something you can do in the cold emailing part. You're not going to talk to your clients too much before you try to plug the call. Just a little bit back and forward. Provide pure value and offer help in that. That's how you structure a real call. You don't come on there to sound super salesy like a salesman. You come on there to actually provide them value. So that call should be 80-20. You should just ask 20% of the questions and he should talk for 80% of the time. And then in the end, you're just going to offer him the simple solution. And that's where he's going to get on or leave you. So the third stage is to get a team. Now, I recommend you to run some ads yourself before you get a team, just so you get experience with it. You want to speak the client's language and all of this stuff and know your space. But once you feel like kind of prepared to create a team, the best way to do that is by going into Facebook groups. I don't really do the Upwork strategy. I go into Facebook groups. Now, I have a team, but I found my whole team in Facebook group, and I'm probably going to continue to do so unless, we have mutual friends or whatever with my workers. But in Facebook group, you're going to find a lot of hungry people. Just make sure that you actually know that they can deliver results. So you go into a marketing group on Facebook, for example. Let's say it's a Google Ads marketing group or a Facebook Ads marketing group, and you're going to say that you need someone to run ads for 3 clients and then show your portfolio. So then you're going to find people that actually knows how to run ads. You're going to contact them and work out a deal. Now, the fourth part, which is very hard, but if you watch my video on it, you will make it work. Trust me, because the Facebook blueprint I put out, my last video, it's very good. It's like 35 minutes or something going over everything that has to do with Facebook ads. But getting results for clients can be a little bit difficult. So I recommend you to find someone who actually knows how to run ads so that you will actually be good. But always recommend you to practice a little bit yourself just so you know your space. Now, there's one thing you're probably wondering, and I did the exact same thing when I was starting. I knew nothing about running ads, and I actually got good by practicing using other people's money. So I worked for my clients for free for 2 weeks when first starting, and then I offered them to actually have the chance to pay later on or to actually purchase my service. But you don't necessarily have to work for free. I think it's fine to get a testimonial, but I learned a lot by working for free. But how will you run your ads? There's a couple of different options there, and I have 2. And then there's a note for me at the bottom here. But run them yourself. That's an option you can take. And I actually run my ads myself when I started, all the way up to 15 to 20K a month for my agency. Now, at this point, I can't. We have way too many clients. So I did set up a team for that. And, it's not ideal to do stuff like that myself. But actually, for the big clients that I have, the people that pays the most and are more so serious and has a very good business that I actually believe in, I'm going to run their ads. I don't really have contractors for that. Now, the second thing you can do is to find a contractor. I explained this on this slide, how you will be able to find them in Facebook groups. That's probably your go-to strategy. But to begin with, I would actually run some ads myself just to get some experience. Now, I have to explain to you how to set up ad accounts, payments, and ads for more. This is something I went over in my Facebook ad tutorial. You really should check that out and actually watch the whole video. But you want to be an admin on your client's account. You are not going to run ads to your own account. So you need to send them your email. They're going to add you to their business manager. And when it comes to the payments for the ads, you want to make sure that the client has their credit card, PayPal, whatever they want to pay with inside their ads manager. You're not going to pay for ads for the client. They're going to pay for ads, and they should have their payment information inside of the ads manager. And as you see here, one more time, follow my Facebook ads tutorial for information on how to guarantee results when running ads for clients. And that is how you start a social media marketing agency in 2022. Now, don't overcomplicate it. Don't think about like all the other aspects now, like should I make a company? The only thing you should focus on now is follow this simple strategy. Don't overcomplicate it and try to get your first client. And make sure that when you get that client, you're actually prepared so that you know how to make the client money. I hope that this video helps you out. I wanted to make it more so a simple video where you learn the exact steps to take, and then you can dive way deeper into the steps after watching this video. But right now, you know all your steps. There should be no confusion at all when starting your agency. And then from that, you can build up on it. You can watch my other videos to learn more about running a marketing agency. And when it comes to online business, social media marketing agency is probably the best business to start because you can start it for completely free. As I said, probably have like $30, $50, create a website. But technically, you can start this business for completely free, and there is pretty much no limit to how high you can scale as long as you can create a team later on. So it's totally realistic for you within a year to have an agency that's making $100,000 a month. And before that, you got to climb to 10K, 5K, 25K, 50K, and so goes on. It's literally one of the best business models out there. I'm Henrik, and on this channel, I'm teaching you everything about SMMA, running a marketing agency on the internet. The channel is also very big into self-improvement, things such as discipline, dopamine detox, motivation, etc. So if you're interested in learning more about SMMA, online business, and mindset, hopefully you consider clicking the subscribe button. And if you like the video, please go ahead and click that like button. I appreciate you for watching. I hope you took some notes, and I'll see you in the next video.